So moving on, talking about following with the equipment, why did you choose the drones that you currently have?
I'll go first. I started my journey with these type of drones in agriculture. Now, I immediately learned that we're not allowed to do that in Europe after I bought the drone. So yeah, so that's different from you, Samir, in the US. So we're not allowed to drop anything from a drone, whether that be solid or liquid. That's our aviation law. That's why you don't see helicopters and airplanes spraying above crops, and we can't do that with drones as well. So that was a hard lesson that I learned from my first drone. Then again, I bought the wrong one, not the strong drone. Tried a few other ones, but I don't know with the Apelix, because I haven't flown the Apelix that you have, Samir. What I noticed was the stability of a drone while you're flying with pressure, not with pressure. But I saw that was quite a challenge to find a drone that was stable during flight. Even if we're dangling half a meter next to a building, does the drone stay there in normal weather conditions? Yeah, made some mistakes buying the wrong drones. Then I saw a drone in Hungary from ABZ. I actually flew to Hungary to go test the drone out, and I could literally take off, go inside, have a coffee, come back out, and that drone would still be there. So it's the kind of stability that we're used to see from the brand DJI. They're also very stable. So yeah, I went all in for ABZ for the C10 cleaning drone. That's why I choose that drone. Yeah.
But it also is a drone that's allowed in your country, right? That has to be.
Yeah. So we have, I don't think you have it in the US, but we have to fly in open category under standard scenario. We need a C5 certified. C5 means from C1 to C6, and depending on what classification that drone gets, you're authorized to fly in urban areas, etc. So basically, we need a C5 classified drone to fly in urban areas to do this type of work. So that's already limiting us to the amount of drones, because not a single Chinese drone can be used under standard scenario here in Europe.
Oh wow!
Now we have to go look to European manufacturers, and there are not many in Europe.
Yeah, so that's kind of the over-regulation, right? So we're about to get our DJI ban here in the United States. It's in a couple of weeks, and it's once again it's the over-regulation, over-correction. I know you guys have a lot stricter regulations. The reason I picked an Apelix is now I bought my drone in November of 2024. So I bought my drone before the new Sherpa from Lucid was out. I bought my drone before the new drones from Apelix were out. I bought my drone before Aqualine was really a thing out of Connecticut. And so in 2024, you didn't have very many choices. It was basically Apelix or Lucid. And I'm kind of I can hear someone typing. I'm more of a I'm trying to say is I'm kind of a loyal guy, right? And I like first impressions. So it was between Lucid and Apelix. And I tried calling Lucid. I got a sales rep who kind of tried to start selling me. I've been in sales over 30 years. You're not going to sell me. I called Apelix and I talked to the owner of Apelix. So that was like, oh, you're the owner. Okay, wow. And he's the one who gave me the advice of, you can buy my drone, but go learn the business first. So that made a big impression for me. And that's why I lean towards Apelix, is because of the relationship and how they treated me. And so I went with an Apelix. Personally, I'm not convinced of the 6 propeller Lucid because the thing with an Apelix is it has dual motors. So it actually has, even though it has 4 props versus 6, it actually has 2 more motors than Lucid. It has 8 motors. So that was one of the benefits for me was 8 is better than 6 is better than 4. So that was one of the selling points. Not to mention it's here in the United States. At my 1-year mark, I took my drone in and they did the tune-up for me and everything. And that was part of the package I bought. So for me, it was, and I knew the NDAA, the National Defense Aviation Act, had passed. So I knew that I could not buy a foreign-made drone because at some point the government may come down and say, and now they're starting to come down. So I wanted to make sure I had a US-made drone. And back then there weren't very many choices. There's a lot more choices today. Yeah.
Right.
And as far as the licensing goes, I know you guys have some different requirements over there. I've heard in the UK, it's like 14,000 pounds to get a license for something. I don't know. I've seen that number thrown around.
Yeah.
In the United States, you just need what's called a Part 107. It's the most basic drone pilot test. You know, I took an online class and I passed.
Is that the only one you need?
That's all you need for wash drones. It's the same one that you would need for photography, mapping, surveying. It is the same drone. They don't care whether I'm spraying anything. It has to do with my weight limit. So by 107, I'm limited to flying 55 pounds. So that means I'm limited to height because at a certain height, the weight of the drone, the batteries, the hose, the water, the bleach, it all adds up. By the way, bleach weighs 10.3 pounds. Water weighs about 8 pounds, right? So bleach actually weighs more than water. And so I'm limited by height due to weight restrictions. If you want to go over 55 pounds, now you have to go get I forgot what part, 137 or something. That is a very hard test to pass because you might as well be a pilot at that point. To spray what we call spraying economic poisons, that's the term, economic poisons, you have to have a Part 138. That is not easy to get. If you follow my friend Jay Schultz on Instagram or LinkedIn, they're called Gorge drones. They do a lot of ag spraying in Oregon for the Christmas trees. And to get that is a big deal. It could take like a year to get that license because you were literally spraying poison in the air. But for wash drones, it's the most simplest, easiest license to get or certification. It's called the Part 107. And that's all you need. It's the only thing you need.
A bit different
from
Europe.
So to make a really long story short, we have our A1, A3, which is basically your license for a hobby pilot. Then you have your A2 for a commercial pilot. And then you have your specific to fly the bigger, heavier class drones like we do. If you have your C certification of the drone, so your drone defines where you can fly. And with a C5, you can fly under a standard scenario in the EU with a C5 drone. Anything else requires a predefined risk assessment.
Wow.
Or then the higher level is a SORA. Now, a PDRA, typically around a year. A SORA approval, 1.5 to 2 years before you get your approval. Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
So that's why
how would you schedule jobs?
Is so important for Europe.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Did we have any success with the chat, Bruno? Is somebody on it?
Still trying.
Okay.
Still trying. The chat appears to one person, but not the rest of the guests. So we have gone through.